Outdoors presents Spur of the Moment. The hunting tactics used to take a wily old spring gobbler has changed drastically over the past 20 years due to the ever-increasing amount of hunting pressure. Even though the number of wild turkeys has increased throughout the United States over the past decade, the difficulty factor in taking a spring gobbler has increased as well. The turkey hunter of the 90s has to be much more mobile, covering a larger area than ever before in his search for a hot and willing gobbler. He also has to know what to do and when to do it at the spur of the moment. Join five-time World Champion caller Mark Drury as he and his brother Terry Drury show a cut-and-run style of gobbler hunting that is sure to strike some hot gobblers. You'll also join World Champion Steve Stoltz, M.A.D Call Production Manager Tad Brown, and the rest of the Drury Outdoors squad as they take trophy toms at the spur of the moment.
Hello and welcome. I'm Mark Drury. Our first hunt takes us to the Deep South with John Lanier. John is one of the owners of Bent Creek Lodge, and this morning we find him in pursuit of an Alabama field turkey. Given that this gobbler had hens with him out in the middle of this 200-acre wheat field, Johnny elected to use the terrain within the field to maneuver closer to the birds. Sometimes getting right with the turkey will make the difference, especially if they don't expect it.
Times when they won't come to you, you just gotta go to them. He never knew we were out here. Pretty good turkey. How'd it go, Doc? Good, we got him, didn't we? All right. Leo said you got one. Yeah, we looked up. But we had one gobbling good early this morning, but hens just pitched to him, and we left him and coming back. We saw this turkey in the field. He eased up there and called, but they were feeding the other way, so we went around the edge of the hill a little bit and got right in the middle of the field with him. And just called a couple of times, and he turned and just come just as straight to us as he could come. And the hens were behind him following them, but he just came right on in our lap. We were just right out in the middle of that field with no tree or nothing. Never killed a turkey like that before.
Nice. Later in the week, Bent Creek's other owner, Leo Allen, was trying to guide me to one of these Alabama Easterns. Pretty good deer for a 2-year-old.
Boy, ain't that fun.
Thank goodness for 2-year-olds, Leo.
Yeah, when you got that jinxie camera with you. You know how Johnny and I think about them cameras.
That hunt of Johnny's the other day, that was exciting, the way that turkey came through that field. And now this one here in the woods, I mean,
I just like the woods hunt, man.
You do?
Man, yeah.
I do too. Sometimes in the woods, though, they'll get a tree on you.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
It's hard. It's a hard lot to get footage and everything. But, you know, it's just a lot better hunting.
Right.
It's fun.
But when you're down here, it's easy to get footage regardless of where you're at. Man, have you guys got the turkeys.
Yeah, we just glad you come down.
Well, we sure appreciate you letting us come down and do some filming. time for a break. It's gorgeous back in here.
Yeah, it's pretty. Hey, some good deer hunting back here too.
Huh?
Some good deer hunting back here too. You saw them rubs look pretty good.
I know. How many deer did y'all kill last year?
Oh, we ended up about 450, 460.
450 deer?
Yeah.
Man, that's incredible. Is that about average for Bent Creek, or?
Well, it was a little bit off. December got hot. And so, you know, it slowed down then. Picked up, came strong. January, November was hot. But it was just about a week span there in December it got hot.
How many turkeys will you kill in a year?
50, 60.
That's
You know, all longbeards, what Johnny and I, we try to discourage shooting jakes. You know, they're
Right.
legal, but that's your future gobbling turkeys. We've been real lucky. It's you know, customers, they understand
Right.
and all that. But usually our guides, they so good, they get on these gobbling turkeys and, you know.
They just know where to go.
Well, and also they'll work them, you know.
We're lucky in the fact, you know, doing a lot of the stuff we do, calling and whatnot, and doing videos and whatnot. We get to hunt a lot of different places. You
Yeah.
know? And what amazes me down here is the number of turkeys and the number of deer you get to see.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. It's just filled.
Well, we work at it, you know.
And you get to see so many spots. I mean, I don't know where else you can go and hunt. How many acres is it?
29,000.
29,000 acres, and you just
And
did
it's private land.
I
It's
know.
not public.
I know. I'm about wore out.
I'm about ready to get back and get a Diet Coke and one of them cold biscuits.
Let's get back to lodge and show Johnny this turkey. He's gonna be excited, I know.
He'll be fired up.
Not long after I had returned from Bent Creek, Terry found himself on the windy plains of northwestern Texas.
We've got a large group of hens over here that have been feeding in a feedlot out in the middle of this mesquite where the farmer's been feeding the cattle. And there's 3 or 4 good, real longbeards right here. We're gonna try and work them this afternoon. See them going up through the mesquite, all of them, all going up.
Take enough steady aim on that particular gobbler. Heck, he wasn't but about 10 steps, and my pattern probably wasn't opened up very far. So I don't know how more humiliating a guy could feel right now, but we're just going to have to try and do it again. The key was, the prime time was when we were here. You know, we knew what time they were coming in, and we got here, we were ahead of them. All I didn't do was put the right shot on him, so I don't know. I'm going to have to work on that.
Now let's join World Champion caller Steve Stoltz. Steve grew up hunting these rolling hills of the Missouri Ozarks. And when it comes to fooling one of these show-me gobblers, I don't know anyone that knows how to play the game any better than Steve.
These turkeys will stay right around in these woods. You know, if you hear a lot of gobbling around, those turkeys don't go anywhere. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip on down and kind of use the lay of the land to cover me. Try and get down a little closer, because I heard them down there about an hour ago. I better check them. They're still down there. I think I'm going to slip around the side of the hill and get down the ridge and try and get right with these turkeys. Because if they're not gobbling and they're with hens, you got to get right with them. Somewhere. Better check them. I don't think they went too far. There he is. He's right over there. Think I can get a little further. Sounds like he's a pretty good little ways off yet. Put my head down. There is a ton of turkeys right all around here. He's a little further. He's a little further. I think I can get right up here. What a beautiful, beautiful gobbler. You talk about a last minute drop down hunt. We was on these gobblers earlier and they were out on this beautiful flat. And they had hens with them. And it was just probably 4, 5, 6 different ones gobbling in one bunch. So they went off down off this point. And it started getting real windy here later morning. Heck, it's 11:15 this morning. And we slipped around down here. We heard him gobble down here. We slipped around, and man, next time he gobbled, he was right here. Oh. And we had to drop down, I mean, instantly. Oh. Orange out here. Get him out of the woods. What a hunt, I'll tell you. It is 20 minutes after 11. And I've been on these turkeys all morning, since daylight. And just kept sticking with them, and I finally slipped around. Did you see the way, when I finally spotted him, it was right there. He was right in front of me. Did you see the way he was strutting and just looking? He knew he should see that hen from where I had just called from. I almost bumped him. I got around almost too close, but it worked out, because he didn't, man, I'll tell you, he didn't see a thing. Well, I'm gonna get him out of here. Got him tagged and ready to go. Try it right here. I've been seeing 2 big gobblers strutting out in this field. Before I walk out into it, it's always a good idea to call before you get too far into it.
This hunt proves that regardless of what you throw at some turkeys, they're just not going to budge. I continued to call to this bird, trying to lure him closer, but what I didn't know was that he was strutting on the other side of a woven wire fence and not about to come any farther in my direction. I didn't know this fence was here. Man, I tell you what, if you can give a turkey an excuse to hang up on you, they'll sure do it. I could see the fence posts from where I was, but I couldn't tell if it was a barbed wire fence or this hog wire here. Or a woven wire, I should say. There was no way he was gonna come through that. Doggone. And I thought he was closer than he was too. That turkey was probably 50 plus yards away. I thought he was 40 or closer. Man. Oh well. Oh, that stuff's gonna happen. Oh man. The Texas Hill Country has long been known for holding an abundance of wild game, especially white-tailed deer and wild turkey. Steve and I found out just how awesome the area can be when we traveled to the Shin Oak Ranch in Kerr County, Texas. Here we are joined by the Shin Oaks manager and head guide, Vern Childress.
shot taken.
I'm telling you. Good call. Oh, man. Good call. You know, I'll tell you what, when there's ways to take turkeys, and this is definitely an off-the-wall way, but it worked. And that float calling, you know, you get behind somebody 50, 60 yards like that, sometimes like the turkeys are in a funny mood right now.
Well, they're all henned up.
They're henned up. And the hens, when you call to them, they're wanting to take the gobbler right away from the call.
That's right.
So with you set up in front, where the turkeys can go right by you, it worked out
That
perfect.
was a beautiful calling job from up in the woods here.
I'm telling you. Well, how do you like that, Prince?
That was great. Y'all are great callers. Thank you. Well, ought to
Thank
be.
you. We appreciate y'all having us out.
Yes,
you
sir.
and Ken have been
Yes,
more
sir.
than hospitable
Y'all can come back
to us.
anytime.
We have
Thank you.
seen
So many turkeys.
so many gobblers, I'll tell you. This ranch is incredible.
Well, let's go show him to Ken.
Y'all done a great
Yeah.
job calling. Thank y'all.
Let's head out. Well, I'm trying to breakfast.
Now here's the Shin Oaks owner, Ken Calloway, as he and Steve try to connect with Ken's first turkey.
Oh,
Where'd
man.
that dead bird go?
If it weren't for bad luck, we'd have no luck at all. Ken. Well, we had an exciting hunt. Oh.
It's now or never. We go right there, try to kill him when he comes out. Or we're gonna spook him. Stay low. Where's he at? Where's he at?
Go! Yeah! Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Now! I got you. Oh, yeah. Woo! Oh, howdy, a long time coming, huh? I'm afraid to let go of you. You'll tear me up. Tear me. Yeah, he's... Good job, Ken. Congratulations. Thank you. Now there, that's okay. That's what it's all about. Woo! Oh, boy. Boys, that's been a long time coming. Boy, I mean, you know something?
Let's set him down here, Ken.
Boy, I tell you, what an experience. Never in my life have I had a hunt that required this much patience and skill.
What do you think about turkey hunting?
I'll guarantee you, it's catching.
There's no better bird than your first wild turkey.
I really can't remember when I've had so much fun.
I like to hear that.
Well, I tell you, my heart's just beating 100 miles a minute.
Well, I'll promise you one thing. You have more turkeys on this ranch than any place I've ever seen, and I mean
Well,
that. We came down here last deer season to do some deer stuff down here at Chinook. And the amount of gobblers we saw, I told Jay when we were down here hunting, I told him, I said, we're coming back for spring turkey if Ken will have us. And
feed and water.
That's what keeps them down here.
You bet.
And I'll promise you one thing. If somebody tells me again that Rio Grandes are easy,
Well, these haven't been by any stretch of the imagination.
If you take a turkey...
I hope they're not all this tough, are they? Are they all this tough?
Well, when you get them in this stage of the game, they're henned up extremely. I mean, every gobbler we've seen or heard has hens with him.
and that's why they've been so tough. You mentioned earlier to me that the ranch hadn't been hunted in 3 years. Oh, we came down here thinking, man, no hunting in 3 years. This is going to be a prime place.
Yeah.
But they're so henned up, it doesn't make a difference how much a bird's pressured or not pressured. When they're henned up, there's just not much you can do.
So this is characteristic pretty much of the first part of the season, would you say? Are they usually henned up in the
It's
first
early
part?
and they're henned up, and there's no hen setting whatsoever. That's why they've been so tough. But anyway,
A couple more weeks maybe, and
a couple weeks it's going to be red hot.
yeah.
I appreciate the invite. Thank you, Ken.
Thoroughly my pleasure.
Let's get him back.
You bet.
Oh man, no better feeling than carrying a bird. How about you carrying it, huh?
I don't know if I can pick him up at this stage.
What's those birds?
I've used a lot.
In today's turkey woods, it always helps to keep yourself as mobile as possible. One way that Terry and I like to increase our mobility is by covering ground via a lake or river. This morning, we were joined by outdoor rider Michael Handback. I'm back out here. All we got to do is go around the point and get above them.
They're both longbeards.
No.
It's two good longbeards.
Doggone. They still there?
Yeah.
Amazing, these boats don't bother them.
They're just milling around feet and they're walking into the
If we
woods.
get above them, they'll come in. Especially since they're by themselves.
They're just walking into the timber.
What do you think, Mike?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
If they come in and we get a chance, you take the one on the left and I'll take the one on the right. But you shoot first.
tell you what, it was
two of them come in together, huh?
yeah.
No kidding.
It was time to shoot. I missed mine. Thank goodness for 2-year-olds. Those two came hard.
They sure did.
It always helps. We talk a lot in our videos about float calling and whatnot. Whenever you get somebody behind you, that runs a call real well and knows how to work turkeys. I mean, it's just a benefit to have somebody 50 or 60 yards because he pulled these two right on top
There's
of
no
us.
question. I mean, they were either coming to one side or the other, and then they heard the hen yelping back here, and they just came around. They were right there.
I think Easterns especially, and I've always had really good luck with float calling. We've done it several times. Usually Steve Stoltz or Dinker or somebody is filming with Mark and I or out doing the float calling for us. And especially with Easterns, we have had a great deal of success using the float calling method. It's not really anything new, but a lot of guys don't try it. I think they're a little reluctant to. They go out there and they'll hammer a bird and hammer him and hammer him and hammer him and don't have any luck. When all you got to do is put somebody 70 or 80 yards behind you, and you can see just what happened here. It almost works every time. It's not foolproof, but by golly, it sure increases your odds of trying to harvest a bird.
Well, to the turkey, I mean, that hen, she's moving around back there,
Sure, exactly.
and she's doing that, and that's just natural and adds to the realism of it for him. So that's why it's really effective.
That just goes to show how fast a good hunt can happen. I mean, we were just a while ago when we met you, after you said you killed your turkey, we were going, man, we've had a bad morning. We bumped this turkey and we had a bad setup on this one. And then bam, we come in here striking with 5 minutes, we've got a turkey dead. I mean, that was a quick hunt.
It really was. It was one of the fastest hunts I've definitely been on in a few years. So.
Good job, Mike.
Yeah,
Put a good
great.
shot on it. Good job.
Well,
Congratulations,
thank you.
buddy.
Appreciate it.
Let's head
Enjoyed
back to the boat.
being here.
All right, thanks, Mike.
All right, let's tag him and then head back to the boat.
Okay.
Slap that around there. All right, let's go to the boat. Get that orange up. I tell you what, I better grab my gun. You go with that. Wonder what I did with my gun. There it is. I'll get it. I'll meet you down. All right.
Wait till you get. Marvin would be proud of you.
I feel like Marvin. I lost my gun. Lost your gun. Great. Many of you are probably already familiar with Michael's work. His writings have appeared in magazines such as The American Hunter, Outdoor Life, Peterson's Hunting, and Turkey and Turkey Hunting, making him one of the top outdoor writers in the country. Terry and I really enjoyed hunting with Mike. Once he had his bird, we spent the rest of the day taking pictures and trying to locate other birds. Finally, that evening, we located a lone gobbler heading towards his roost. Man, did you see that? He's gonna roost right here.
There's no doubt about that.
That's exciting. That's what's so nice about a boat, because you can cover so much ground and roost so many different turkeys. Let's go find another one. He's gonna be right here.
Let's kind of watch and see what they do.
The following morning, Terry and Mike dropped me off on the other side of the point. I used the cover of darkness to place myself within 100 yards of the roosted bird. Much to my surprise, there wasn't just one gobbler, but rather two responding to the call. We actually had two cameras rolling this morning. This second view allows us to see just what an important part mossy oak camouflage plays within our hunting. These birds passed within 10 yards of my position before I finally had to swing and make the shot. Neither of them was ever aware of my presence, and mossy oak passed the test once again.
Oh my goodness, were they pretty coming up through there. Man alive. That right there is why roosting is so doggone important, because it gives you the advantage of knowing where those birds are at and getting in tight on them. Oh man, was that ever thrilling. Yeah, we came in here last night and roosted this bird from out
out on the other side of him, knew where he was, knew what we had to do to get around him and get in here above him, because I like to work turkeys from above. I have better luck with them coming uphill than I do down. So we went out of our way to get above them, set up about 125 yards on this side of them, and they went to gobbling good this morning on the roost. And then when they flew down, they got quiet, which is something that turkeys typically do, is get quiet once they're on the ground. And so many guys mistake that as he's spooked and he's not coming, that type of stuff. But it's just natural for them. They quiet down first thing, and that's a good sign for you to get ready, because that turkey's probably on the ground. It's also a good sign for you to go ahead and start picking up the calling pace a little bit. And we did, and man, these two, they came in hard. Two of them, two big longbeards. This was the back bird. He was the only one. The other one was a little bit too far out in front of me. I couldn't get my gun swung that far to him, so I went ahead and took this one. This was the one that was strutting as he came up through there. Man, he's got good spurs on him. Excellent spurred turkey. Oh, nice, nice bird. Boy, was that exciting. Oh, son.
Here, man. All right.
How about it? Another lake turkey.
We heard the shot. We heard the shot. We knew something was going on. Yeah, all right.
All right.
It's a nice bird.
Yeah, he's a good one. Here. Look at that. He's heavy.
Man, good spurs.
Nice spurs.
That's a nice bird. Nice job.
Tore my glove up.
Didn't take you very long.
No, it was early. Man, there's nothing better than getting dropped, dropped off and put right on top of them like that. I appreciate the ride.
Great turkey.
Here's another early morning hunt as we find our good friend Mike Michalakis set up on 3 different roosted longbeards. Once again, the cover of darkness allowed Mike the setup he needed to properly work the birds.
Spur's been, he's a nice 2-year-old. Nice fat bird. Can't complain about that.
Tad Brown has been one of the driving forces behind the fast-growing success of M.A.D calls. In just 2 short seasons, M.A.D has become a standard for today's serious turkey hunter. Tad's call choice this morning was his favorite, a 2-reeded diaphragm called Trouble.
This fence is the reason they wouldn't come. They were in this field behind me earlier gobbling good, and they quit. And they've hung up on this fence. I'm gonna have to, they're down in this timber, in this draw. I'm gonna have to go down the fence and cross it, get on their side, and get across the creek down here. Get ahead of them.
out there was 2 of them at first, and they really got to gobbling good. And the darn things, we found out they was hung on a fence. And finally they split up. We kind of got them fired up again after we left them. And we were going to have to leave in about 15 minutes. And we were just about ready to give up, and we decided to skirt around. We got one more, that one fired up again, and he was in this ditch along this creek. And we kept calling. The wind is so strong, it's really difficult to tell how close he was. And lots of times I don't think we were hearing him. And we decided to change trees. And boy, just as I changed, here he come around the corner strutting. And just luckily, he didn't see us. But boy, he's a nice heavy turkey. Got good spurs. I'd say they're about an inch, probably about a 3-year-old turkey. Awful heavy turkey. He's got a beautiful beard. Whew, we've been hunting hard. Yesterday we heard, oh heck, I'd say we heard 5 or 6 turkeys yesterday, just really gobbling good. And we come back to the same area today, and the wind and this front come through, and didn't hardly hear a turkey. We had one turkey answer one time, and we sat there, and the minute we got up and moved, he come walking right down where we was at. So we thought that we'd had our last chance for the day. But this is the results of staying after it. It pays off. The guy keeps after it and hunts hard. Well, we got a long drive ahead of us. I better get to the truck. This is going to be a surprise to everybody at camp. Every once in a while, a new product enters the industry that's really, really good and revolutionary. Well, this year we're lucky enough with M.A.D calls to introduce an entirely new realm of location calls. A locator call that will never let another hunter know where you're at, but yet makes turkeys gobble their heads off. Let me tell you a little bit about dead silence. Dead silence is based upon a turkey's hearing range. And it's not so much in decibels, not loudness, but in frequency. A turkey hears at a frequency range of around 0 to 16,000 hertz. A human's frequency range ends at about the 8,000 hertz level. So a turkey hears a lot of pitches that you and I never do. Right now, presently, I'm talking at around 2,500 hertz. So that's how dead silence works. We've tuned it in at a range of over 14,000 hertz so that it reaches out there and gets to that upper end level of a wild turkey's hearing. Let me blow it one more time for you. All you basically hear is the air hissing through the call, but what you don't hear is a silent tone that makes turkeys gobble their heads off. To prove it, I'm going to show you some very interesting pieces of footage that we shot this past year during and mostly after the spring turkey season, showing that silence truly can be deadly.
information about Dead Silence or any other M.A.D product, please contact us at the address and number listed. I'm Mark Drury, and as always, I thank you very much for making us a part of your hunting season.
Once there were millions, and today there are again millions of wild turkeys. But the 300 years of U.S. settlement in between the first colony and the early 1900s almost brought the wild turkey to extinction. However, the 1930s introduced the development of a new interest in wildlife conservation and the methods of wildlife management. Even the interruption created by World War II failed to stop the creation of state wildlife agencies, new game laws, and the attempt to restore depleted populations of wildlife. Those first attempts were made with pen-raised turkeys. And it seemed like a logical approach to increasing turkey populations, but raising and releasing artificially raised birds into the wild actually slowed down the comeback of the wild turkey for almost 2 decades. As state wildlife agencies abandoned the pen-raised restoration efforts, they were replaced by the relocation of wild-trapped turkeys into suitable but unoccupied habitat. Wild turkeys have made a dramatic comeback in the last 4 decades because of sportsmen's dollars, coupled with state agency leadership and effort, and have paved the way for the return of this king of game birds. Trap and transfer of wild turkeys has proven to be a key to successful restoration. Restoration efforts by state wildlife agencies have accelerated since the 1950s and have resulted in the establishment of huntable wild turkey populations in 49 states, Canada, and Mexico. Wild turkey populations have grown to more than 4 million, an increase of over 2 million in the years since 1980. In 1973, there were 1.3 million wild turkeys. By 1993, there were an estimated 4 million, a 308% increase. In 1973, 39 states had turkey hunting seasons. Now they're open in 49. Only Alaska has no wild turkeys. And in 1973, the harvest of wild turkeys was 128,000 birds. By this past year, the harvest was over 500,000, over 400% increase. Turkey hunters have also increased as populations have expanded. 2 million turkey hunters spend an estimated $600 million annually during the spring turkey hunting season. Through the support of organizations like the National Wild Turkey Federation, the wild turkey restoration has gained new momentum through a cooperative effort organized by the Federation, and it's called Target 2000. The goal of Target 2000 is to restore and expand wild turkey populations on 65 million acres of suitable but presently unoccupied habitat in the United States. This is to be accomplished by the turn of this century. The effort's going to require more than 30,000 wild turkeys and $15 million to complete. In the program's 6 years, the NWTF has coordinated the transfer of almost 5,000 wild turkeys between 23 states toward reaching the Target 2000 goal. With protection, these birds' offspring could exceed 200,000 in 5 years. Target 2000 is a joint effort between the Wild Turkey Federation, state and federal wildlife agencies, along with corporate and private landowners. The Federation plays an important role in coordinating the transfer of birds between states, providing specially designed wild turkey transport boxes, and the accounting of funds to cover the cost of capturing and moving the birds. Current restoration efforts involve the eastern, the Rio Grande, and the Miriam subspecies. The NWTF is also working on a cooperative project with the Arizona Game and Fish Department, the U.S. Forest Service, and others to relocate the Gould's turkeys from Mexico into southwestern U.S. This relocation effort will allow for the expansion of the Gould's populations throughout the southwestern part of the country. The return of the wild turkey is one of the unique wildlife management success stories of this century, but the NWTF still needs your help. Support this exciting effort and become a part of the fastest growing conservation organization, the National Wild Turkey Federation. Why don't you call 1-800-THE-NWTF for a brochure on how you can help Target 2000.